Today we want to talk about the spike protein. About 2 years ago, nobody knew what it is, and today it is on everybody's mind. We don't want to go too much into the details of what it is, rather than show you a scientific way on how to get rid of it. It worked on mice and rats when injected, and most probably it will work on humans too. Our sources come, as so often, from government-published websites, so it is not our own idea. It has been published in PubMed, NIH and more. Share this video, if you know people who have problems with blood clots and likewise, they might be happy to get this information. Let's dive right into it. What is the spike protein anyway? In short, the spike protein is being produced by COVID-19 and as such not a good thing. Secondly, it is being injected through mRNA vaccines in order that our cells produce it themselves in order to immunize us. Unfortunately, it turns out that once we produce it ourselves, there can be side effects, like heart wall inflammation, irregular menstruation, stroke, and the like. In short, we get a blood clotting problem, not everybody, but it is safe to say, more than we would have expected, and certainly nobody wants that to happen. Here are a few examples, what doctors think what the spike protein can do. Heart inflammation. Menstruation problems. Stroke. Here is a small video clip just to sharpen your mind on what is a spike protein. Don't worry, even famous doctors do not know at first until they take a closer look.
I want to start with a very sincere apology. I want to, as effusively as I can, fall on my sword. And I want to explain why and what and frame it. So sit back and enjoy this if you like this kind of thing. So we now know that we have a very significant Pfizer executive on the record saying that they knew about these menstrual irregularities being a very serious concern. I have now seen pathological specimens that show excess spike protein in the ovaries, in the adrenal gland. The executive in the Project Veritas case pointed out that he thought maybe it had something to do with the hypothalamic pituitary axis, which is a very common it's a very delicate cycling system, a neuroendocrine system that women have that can get easily set off. But we now know some of the possible mechanisms, not just the ovaries, but also there could be, we've seen excess spike protein now in the myelin and actually in the neuronal cell wall. So it could actually be direct neuronal effects. And we also know that spike protein is affecting plasminogen activator inhibitor by inhibiting that inhibitor and causing problems with bleeding and clotting. And we, of course, also know now that this spike protein is very much a part of what we call an endotheliitis, or a lining of the artery problem that could easily be manifest in the uterine wall and the uterine lining. So there's at least 5 mechanisms I could think of that could be causing this that are of serious concern. And I am getting emotional when I want to say this. When Naomi brought this up, the kindest thing I can say is I was dismissive. I was quietly dismissive of what she was bringing up because I had seen menstrual irregularities caused by everything in my career. And I thought, it's just another thing. It's just another thing. I was wrong. I apologize. I got it. I don't know whether we're going to find out exactly what's going on, but I was as wrong as I could be. And the one thing that this pandemic has taught me, well, one of the many things, I've learned a lot of things that I didn't want to know, but
many of you might wonder, is there nothing to fix it? The good news is, yes, there is. There is a scientific paper, published by PubMed, where scientists treated mice and rats with injections of nattokinase, and each time they did these experiments, the spike protein became inactive. In an article published by Nature it says, restoration of blood flow was directly proportional to the amount of nattokinase injected into chemically induced thrombi in rats. Meaning, they produced rats with a chemically induced thrombus. Once it was clear that the rat has a thrombus or blood clot, they injected nattokinase and voila! The thrombus dissolved like magic. Directly proportional, in this context means, the more they have injected, the more clots were dissolved. What is nattokinase anyway? Nattokinase is a byproduct of fermented soybeans. The Japanese use it as a dish on a regular basis. It is basically a food, and it has been consumed mainly in Japan for centuries. It is well documented that it helps with blood clots. Besides that, it is the one food that is highest on vitamin K2. This is an artery cleansing vitamin because it takes the calcium out of your arteries and brings it to your bones and teeth. Besides that, it is good for your heart. So there is a win-win situation, cleansing your arteries of calcium, dissolving blood clots, and is good for the heart and stopping the spike protein. Does it go any better than that? Would that mean that you can get some nattokinase at your Japanese food store and all will be fine? Well, unfortunately not. And here is why. You can eat nattokinase and get some benefits like vitamin K2 as well as blood thinning. However, unfortunately you will not be able to get any benefit against the spike protein. The NIH states, the molecular size of nattokinase is generally considered to be too large for oral absorption through the GI tract. It is recognized that nattokinase may be susceptible to chemical oxidation and inactivation or denaturation in the GI tract. Further, the NIH states, the inhibitory effect of the nattokinase extract was impaired upon heating. This is due to the loss of enzymes. But remember, the nattokinase you purchase in the Japanese food store comes frozen. In frozen food, the enzymes are destroyed the same way as in heated foods. These are the two reasons why we cannot destroy the spike protein just like that. A possible solution. Our product developers have managed to produce a nattokinase patch, the first of its kind, as well as suppositories. With both methods, it does not matter how large the molecule is. It goes into your system with a high absorption rate of about 70 to 90%. It turns out that both of these methods are the closest next to an infusion. It is also not heated or frozen, so that both criteria, the NIH names, are met. For more information on this special product, visit our website. We leave a link in the description below. Thank you for watching and share this video to anyone who is affected.